Hey guys, I was going to do a video last week and I got sick and I sounded like a man, so I decided I would wait until my voice was better, just so y'all wouldn't all laugh at me. Okay, so I've got it pulled up on my computer screen, some of the questions that you guys asked. Most amazing, breathtaking, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning shots. Can I hug you, Alyssa? Because I don't always feel like my work looks like that. To me, and it's going to be, I'm going to say this more than once because I've kind of read over some of y'all's questions. It's light. It is exposure. Once I figured out how to get the right exposure and the right light, finding the right light, my images just seem to kind of take on a life of their own. So that is huge. A lot of times when I'm out, of course, I do a lot of shots in downtown areas. So I don't necessarily have a whole lot of light. It's filtered light, which works well, but you have to make sure you know where your light source is coming from and either use a reflector and bounce the light, or a lot of times I look for natural reflectors. Like I look for buildings that are white, or, parts of the alleyway that's kind of shining extra light. So I always am aware of where my light source is, and that's huge for me. I scratch my nose all the time. Okay. Okay, when going on location, do I stay in one location or do I travel around to different locations to get different pictures? A lot of times I will meet my client in a downtown area, an old downtown area, so we can just kind of walk around the old downtown. But in Texas, everything's kind of far away. And in certain towns around, depending on where my clients are from, we don't always have like one location that you can just walk to. So we'll hop in the car and go to the next place. A lot of times my senior girls, I don't know how I would do this if I was a man photographer, but a lot of times when we're going from one location to the next, my senior girl's changing in the back of my car. But I drive a Suburban because I have 4 kids, so it's plenty of room back there. So we do hop in the car and drive a lot of times, but if it's a family, most of the time I'm going to meet them somewhere where we can just kind of walk around. And you don't need a whole bunch of different locations. As long as you have like one building that has 3 or 4 different sides that work, that are well lit, you can easily just pull them away from the wall and get a different shot, put them closer to the wall, go from one angle, from the left to the right, to the, just all kinds of different, you have to get creative. And I don't know if that's true for every person in every location, but again, like I said, Texas, everything's far. I mean, every session I go to, I drive an hour and a half. There's just nothing real old and unique around me or my clients, so we have to drive to meet. So that's just kind of the breaks of the game where I'm at. I've tried to talk my husband into moving to a really cool urban downtown, but he won't do it. Okay, so how do you make time for everyone? Family, clients, friends. How do you manage your time? Well, I don't. So there's really no answer to that. I really don't. Since I've been working, we've had cereal for dinner a lot. Or I cannot seem to get it all together. I do spend my time during the day working on clients and stuff. I do get distracted with Facebook. When my kids are home, I kind of want to shut down my work and not necessarily worry about work, but then you get emails when people get off work, so then my phone beeps and then I have to come and look at it and I address it, and there's really no start and stop to our job. That's just kind of how it is. A lot of times I work in the evenings and weekends. I'm trying now to cut back my sessions where I'm only working once a week, so I'm only gone once a week, so then I have time for my family, and I try not to work on the weekends unless it's a client that really cannot do anything during the week. So I'm still really working on that. You should see my laundry room. Clearly, I'm not succeeding. How do you get the perfect skin tones? Same thing, light. I don't feel like I necessarily am the photographer to talk to about perfect skin tones because I don't necessarily know that I've nailed that yet. But for me, my skin tones are all about light. So again, once you get your exposure down and your light down, everything else seems to kind of just work and take on its own life, and your editing is cut down to absolutely bare minimum. It's just amazing. So really just practice. Get your child, get a friend, get your friend's kids, because that's the next question is, how do I handle good friends who want photo sessions? I borrowed their kids in the beginning because my kids were sick of it. They were wore out of me practicing on them. So that's just all I can really say is just practice, practice, practice. But it is all about your exposure and all about your light source. So or for me. I don't even know if that's technically right, but that's what I do. How do I handle good friends who want photo sessions? Is there a standard discount you apply, or is it case by case? This is kind of my rule of thumb. I have probably 2 or 3 friends that have literally been there for me through my entire journey, and those are the people whose kids I did practice on when I was getting started. For me, it's just hanging out with my girlfriend and her kids. She will do the most random things with me. If I say, hey, let's go to this really crazy location and just make a crazy day out of it with her kids, we do it. All 3 of hers, all 4 of mine, it's madness. But I will do her sessions for free. Just because it's more so for me than it is for her. She just kind of gets the benefits of getting the pictures. But for everybody else, as I've raised my prices, I have a few high school friends and a few really close friends that I honor my old prices to, loyal clients. But a lot of times when I do their sessions, I'm doing mini sessions. So for me, if you're wanting to book a regular session, I don't care really who you are, you're going to do my regular prices. If you're wanting to get a discount, then I do a friends and family discount on a mini session day only. So I offer a mini session, and I contact all my friends and say, hey, I'm doing a such and such mini session. If you're interested, this is the price. That's for family, friends, and extremely loyal clients who have been with me from the very get-go. Other than that, my sister was going to do a wedding. I was still charging. I mean, it wasn't, I can't give that many discounts because so many people will become your friend and your family all of a sudden. So you just have to, it is case by case, but for me, the ones who supported me from the beginning and who have been there with me from the beginning, I do kind of make a little leniency for. But everyone else, it's just, these are my prices, this is it. If you want in, it's just the same rules. Posing. Again, I don't feel like I'm necessarily the photographer to talk to because I don't know that I have nailed the posing thing down. Recently I posted for a senior, or girl, I guess, in general. I just got some pictures off the VictoriaSecret.com, which is totally random, but not the lingerie like crazy, but just the clothed, the simple poses. I pinned all those, or I put them all together and made my own little quote-unquote posing guide so I could have a picture of it on my phone when I'm out and about. I would do the same thing with couples, brides. Look through magazines, look through websites for bridal like gowns and see how they're posed, and just snap a picture with your phone and then bring it with you and pull it out of your pocket until you get that rhythm going in your session. You have something to look at. I do it. A lot of people do it. I don't think you have to always be spot on. What is the best way to learn more in Photoshop? Yikes. Photoshop is extremely hard, and it's the only thing that has made me want to take my computer and throw it into the yard more times than not. But for me, I've never really taken a Photoshop class. I've always just kind of learned by trial and error, and I know, and I've said it 100 times, there's a quicker way from point A to point B than I get there. I take the extreme long way, but it's what I know. It's all I know, and I haven't taken the time to really learn it. I am talking fast. So to me, it's just practice, practice, practice. Google. There's some, I think, pretty presets for Lightroom, MCP Actions. A lot of the action makers, Lightroom makers, they do tutorials. So I would suggest, if you're wanting to learn more with Photoshop, to do something like that. I'm sure there's classes out there. I'm not aware of any. I've never taken any. My edits are extremely simple. I do probably 4 or 5 things. I know that if anyone asked me to edit a picture in a different way than what I'm familiar with, I would have no idea how to do it. So I'm kind of the kind that gets comfortable in my groove, and then I don't change it. So I would just say, honestly, just practice makes perfect. Just practice, play, see what things do. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked on an image and gone, what did I do to this thing? Chunk it in the trash, start over. So that's what I've done. There's probably an easier way, but that's how I've handled it. So, okay, now that I just ran through this really, really fast, if you have any other questions, let me know for the next video segment, and it might be another month before I get dressed and get makeup on, but I will get to them. So let me know what you think, and if you have any other questions, have a great day, guys. Bye.